الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم. Before we start, just recap of our last sabak. The last time we met was on Friday. No? We said that the blood of fish is not najis. Two reasons: because blood in the conventional or in the fiqh context is that when it's left in the sun, it will turn black. Fish blood doesn't turn black. That's the one thing. And the second thing is the fact that you don't have to slaughter a fish for it to become halal. That shows you it is not blood in the sense that it is blood, right? That shows you it is the fact that the fish, like I told you, the whole idea of slaughtering something is to expel the najasat from it. So the fact that you don't have to slaughter it shows it is not najis, right? Then that what we discussed. Then the last thing we discussed there also is interesting masla. If very fine drops, very, very fine drops of urine, whatever it is, it comes onto a person, then that is also not considered to be najis. So fine that you can't see it, because in there there's haraj, right? And wal haraju madfu'un, that haraj is forgiven, right? It's overlooked. Now, today's subject is very, very important here. It's very, very relevant and very important, some important masail. If you understand these usul, the principles, you've got the masail here, and from the masail you can understand many other sorry, if you understand the usul, you can understand many other masail. Like, we always grew up thinking that you must wash with something 3 times before it become pak, before it become clean, and you have to use fresh water every time. So now with the advent of the washing machine, how many cycles the washing machine wash? Does the does it rain out? Does the water come out every time? So when we grew up, always we should remember that if somebody wants to put something najis in the washing machine, first you wash the najasat out, you make it park, then you put it in the washing machine, right? So all of those questions will be answered in the forthcoming masail, inshallah. Bismillah, tafadhal, read from there.
قال والنجاسة درجات مرئية وغير مرئية فما كان منها مرئيا فطهارته الزوال عينها لأن النجاة حلت المحل باعتبار العين فتزول بزوالها.
Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. See, one najasatu darbani. Najasat is of two types, right? Mar'iyatun wa ghayru mar'iyatin. That which you can see it and that which you cannot see it. So what I mean, sometimes when something is soiled with najasat, the najasat has a mass, it has a body, right? So you can see it either has been soiled with najasat, right? Or it has color. Then وَغَيْرُ مَرْئِيَةٍ, the second is that najasat, which you can't see, it has mass, it doesn't have body, but you know that is najasat. Maybe sometimes for example, to understand this, maybe you had a small accident, you missed yourself with urine. Maybe you're drinking a lot of water also. So the urine was clear. The urine was clear. So you know for a fact there is najasat, there is urine on your clothes, but you can't see it, right? That is غير مرئي. Something you can see like blood, stool, etc. that you can see. So there's two things, right? One is that najasat, you can see that this is there, right? And one you can't see. فما كان منها مرئية فطهارتها بزوال عينها. So on a basic level, what is saying? If the najasat is such that you can see it there, either due to its color or because it got mass, then the way of purifying it is pretty simple. You need to wash it till it disappears. You need to wash it till it's not there anymore. The moment it disappears and it is not there, the moment it wash it and it's not there, then you know what it is. Pure. You understood that? You understood that? See there. فما كان منها مرئيا. Check if you got it right. فطهارتها بزوال عينها. That is purification is just by removing بزوال عينها, by removing the actual body, removing that najasat from there, right? Carry on.
لأن النجاسة حلت المحل باعتبار العين فتزول بزوالها.
Why? Because see, لأن النجاسة حلت المحل باعتبار العين. See, how do you know that thing is najis? How, if blood came on there, see, we're only speaking about what now? That najasat that has color, it has mess. How do you know that najasat is there? You know that najasat is there because that mahalla, it came mahalla onto its place باعتبار العين with regards to the actual najasat you can see there. So that you rule it to be najis. Why you rule it to be najis? Because you saw the najasat on there, right? So if it became najis because you saw the najasat came there, then logically it will be clean when it goes away. You understand what I'm saying? That's what he's saying. That cloth was pure, right? Why did you say this cloth is najis here? Because you saw the blood came onto it, or you saw the stool came onto it, right? So what? So it came into hukm of being najis. Why? Because you saw the najasat on it. And so it stands to reason that if it became najis because the najasat came on, then obviously when the najasat goes away, it will become pak again. Are you with me? That's what he's saying. لأن النجاسة حلت المحل باعتبار العين. Right. So najasat حلت, it came onto the place باعتبار العين because his actual the mass came there, right? فتزول بزواله. So it will also تزول يعني تزول حكم النجاسة, the law of it being najis, it will terminate بزواله when it moves away. إلا يبقى من أثره ما يشق إزالته, except they that they remains from its effect, right? ما يشق إزالته. This is Jumla فعلية and it becomes a fa'il. Right? So, let me explain first something about it. Sometimes some type of najasat, despite washing it thoroughly. Remember in Islam, you're not mukallaf of using any detergents, right? If you use detergents to wash your clothes, that's good, it's fine, alhamdulillah, it's good. But you're not mukallaf, right? You don't have to use, because back that time in the desert, there was no detergents. You know, blood has a very strong color, eh? Sometimes if blood comes on the cloth, no matter how many times you wash it, the blood won't come out, right? So what he's saying is there that if where is blood or whatever, it came onto your cloth and you wash it thoroughly, you wash it so thoroughly that normally the najasat will be gone. But this is a stubborn one. The color doesn't want to go away. So no matter how many times you wash it, right? And the color, it will still be considered to be parked, right? And a similar masala, remember we done this. Sometimes, you eat certain foods, and the result of eating the foods, maybe your stool got a strong smell. So you made istinja, right? Now, after you made istinja, you wash your hand 3 times, 4 times. If you use soap, good. That's good. But again, in Sharia, you're not mukallaf of using soap, right? Because not everybody has them. Today, yeah, maybe soap was a cheap thing that anybody could. But back then, soap was an expensive commodity. Not everybody had access to soap. So what is it? You wash your hands thoroughly. But by the you smell it, there's still a smell there, a bad smell. Then you are not mukallaf of that. You are not mukallaf of the smell. Why are you not mukallaf of the smell? Because I thought there's it. So generally, for something to become park, you must remove its effects, you must remove its color, you must remove its mess, you must remove its smell. Then it will become park. Except where it is very stubborn, that despite washing it thoroughly, it's still not removed. Then there you're not mukallaf of removing it. Yes, if you wash your hand with soap, alhamdulillah, that's what we do. There's nurul ala nur. Or if you've got blood on it, like nowadays the ladies will use bleach or they will use whatever, then that's good, but you're not mukallaf. And I remember reading a shara that in the time of in the time of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, obviously they didn't have like disposable pans that we have that you just throw it away. They would use a cloth and they would reuse it. So despite washing it thoroughly, the stains of the blood would still be on there, and they were still allowed to use it. They were not told now that this got stains of blood, you're not allowed to use it. Are you with me? Yeah, there's a story of Hazrat Khawla binti Qatada. This is وَلَا يَضُرُّكِ أَثَرُهَا. That's the words of the hadith. وَلَا يَضُرُّكِ أَثَرُهَا. If the after washing it thoroughly, if some effects remain, no problem, right? So see the ibarat again. So you must wash it, because it became najis for the najasat coming on, it will become pak by the najasat leaving, right? But the Zulu bizawalihi, it will um, it will become pak bizawali by it removing illa ayabqa min athari, except that uh, uh, so you must remove it except in the instance where there remains yabqa min athari from its effect. Then ma yashuq izalatu is a mawsul jumla fi'liya which become the file, right? So I was telling you from this ibarat, so لأن الحرج مدفون. Why? Despite watching something, if there's thoroughly, there's still some smell, you are forgiven because the difficulty is overlooked. And I told you in previous times, you wash it thoroughly, you don't have access to fragrance, you don't have access to soap, so you're not mukallaf of using that because it was not such a common commodity, right? So uh, I was telling you that from this we understand the masla of the washing machine. If you put some najis clothes in the washing machine, right? So what does a washing machine does? It spins that thing, it cycles that thing, it takes the najasat out. It takes the najasat out. So the main thing is that the najasat must be removed from everything. There must be no effect of it. There must be no traces of it. Then it will become park. So if the washing machine removes that thing and right with water, because remember you have to use it with water, it will become park, right? So read the next Ibarat.
مثل الحال بالوضوء
Carry on.
لأن الحال بالوضوء شرعا وهذا يشير إلى أنه لا يشترط بعد زوال العين إذا زال بالجزء مرة واحدة يكون كما
Right. So what I say in the next Ibarat, they say that look here, we learned here that the main thing is just to remove the najasat and all its effect. So وهذا يشير إلى أنه لا يشترط الغسل بعد وزع العين وإن زال بالغسل مرة واحدة. So from this we learn that look here, there's no such thing as that you have to watch something 3 times. Remember, we speak about najasat and mar'i. That's one which you can see the najasat. So from this, you learn there's no such thing. You have to wash it 3 times. If you wash it lesser than 3 times, whatever, it don't become it will not become pure. See the wahada. This is said. The main thing is to remove the najasat. That hada refers to that, right? Hada yushiru. This points to this. That ila to this. La yushtaratu. Washing is not necessary. Washing is not necessary, right? بعد زوال العين, after the actual najasat is removed. وإن زال بالغسل مرة واحدة, even though the najasat is removed by one thorough wash, that's good enough. And this is for the one which you can see the najasat. I'll carry on. Okay, before we read the next ibarat, let me just explain to you what I'm saying. See, the next thing is this here. Uh, that najis which you can't see it, right? So there also the idea is to wash it till it's not there. But you couldn't see it in the first place. You couldn't see it. So how do we know it's there or not there? So generally, when you wash something 3 times, then it disappears. So in the case where we could see the najasat, once we saw after one washing is not there, we already know it's not there. So we could say now it is pure. But the najasat, we can't see. We can't suffice with one washing because we're not sure if it has been removed, it has been effaced or not. But generally, by washing something 3 times, that's when it comes out. So that's why in the najasat, which you can't see, like you got light urine or whatever, or very weak sperm that doesn't have any color or smell or whatever, or maybe precoital fluid when the person is excited, the fluid comes, you can't see it. So there we'll say you have to wash it 3 times. Why? Because you can't see it. You can't see it. So the only way you can be certain that it's gone is by washing it 3 times. Because normally when you do something 3 times, you are certain. And also there is some indication in one hadith, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that when you wake up in the morning, then you should wash your hands before you put in the water, and you should wash your hands 3 times. This just shows you that by washing 3 times, certainly is obtained, right? So read it there now, Muhammad. Exactly what I explained to you now. That's in the forthcoming text. We will put it in, right?
وليست فطهارته أي يغسل حتى يغلب على ظن الغاز أنه
Yeah,
قد
see.
طهر.
So I told you, when you can see the thing there, then you wash it till it's not there. But now when you can't see it, you must wash it till your mind feels satisfied I think is gone now. They're saying, وَمَا لَيْسَ بِمَرْءٍ, that which is not visible. فَطَهَارَتُهَا, then its purification process will be أَن يُغْسَل, then it must be washed حتى يغلب على ظن الغاسل, until the predominant thought on the mind of the person washing أنه قد طهر, that now it is clean. Carry on.
لأن التكرار لا بد منه للاستخراج
Yeah.
ويفتح بزواله.
Right. So why must you wash it 7 times? لأن التقرار, to wash it 1 time, 2 times. لابد, it is necessary. للاستخراج, to extract, remove the dirt from there. ولا يقطع بزواله. And we are not certain, right? Unlike in the case where it was solid, you could be certain by see is not gone, but here you couldn't see. So ولا يقطع, there's no certainty. بزواله, which is so what? So where you are got no certainty, then فأتبر غالب الظن, you use your predominant thought. كما في أمر القبلة, like how in the masjid of Qibla, like you are traveling, you don't know exactly which is where is Qibla, so you will try to use the sun and you will try to work out, and whatever is the predominant thought in your mind, the Qibla is this way, that you have to follow. Like also another masal, I'll give you like this. Inshallah, those who stick with us, we're going to come to this masal. You're reading Salah, and all of a sudden you're confused with regards to how many rakats you read. So you look at your predominant thought. What is the overwhelming thought in your mind? That becomes your focal point. That becomes your deciding factor. So since there's nothing physical to go by to determine whether the najasat has been removed or not, you will now use your overwhelming thought. And we gave you proof for this. There's 2 ways in Sharia, or there's several examples. There's 2 where you use your overwhelming thought. One is what? In the Qibla Masla. One is in what? In the, when you can confuse with the regards to the rakats, right? They also, you use your thought, right? So, فَأَتُبِرَ غَالِبُ الظَّنِّ كَمَا فِي أَمْرِ قِبْلَتِهِ. So now I was telling you, we said now you must wash till you have some type of certainty, till your heart feels satisfied. No, that now I think it's gone now. But that's the original masla. But then the ulama fix it up in 3. So what is the link between overwhelming thought and 3? Why? So they say, لِأَنَّ غَالِبَ الظَّنِّ يَحْصُلُ عِنْدَهُ. Normally when you do something 3 times, then your mind feels satisfied. If I want to tell you something, I want to reprimand you, I'll tell it to you 3 times over. Why did you do this? Why did you do this? Why did you do this? And then by the 3rd time, my heart will feel satisfied. Now I told him, I gave him a good portion of my mind. Or maybe another, it's not in the kitab, but just come to my mind. Why does a woman become mughallaza, like completely severed the nikah? 3 also, when you give 3 talaq, Allah Ta'ala protect. So it shows you 3 talaq is the highest form of emphasis, right? So, لأن غالب الظن, normally predominant thought, يحصل عنده, يحصل يعني in the ثلاثة, right? So فأقيم السبب مقام ظاهر. So the cause of giving you satisfaction or being certain that I've done it sufficient time is to do 3 times, right? So, but the original thing is just to have that predominant thought. So sometimes you mention the cause of something and you intend the end result. You know what I'm saying? Like I told you, you say the Amir built the town, but the Amir never built the town. Who built the town? He instructed his people to build it. He instructed his, just stay in the page, please. He instructed his people to build it, right? So, but you attribute it to him because he's the cause. So the actual thing here is you must have overwhelming satisfaction that is clean. But what is the thing that causes you to have overwhelming satisfaction that is clean? What? The fact that you wash it 3 times. You done this also in your usul fiqh, sabab and musabbab, etc. Sometimes you mention the sabab, you intend the musabbab. Sometimes you mention the sub. Those who done usul shashi, you mention the cause, but you intend the effect. Sometimes you mention the effect, but you intend the cause. So same thing here. That the main thing is you must have predominant thought that it has been thoroughly clean now. And how do you generally get predominant thought? By washing it 3 times. So this is why we say you must Najaasat غير مرئي. Help people, right? So we will say that predominant thought is attained with washing 3 times. So then you have to wash it 3 times, right? So that's what we're saying. وإنما قدرناه بالثلاث. We'll say now you have to wash 3 times. لأن غالب الظن because predominant thought يحصل عنده, it is obtained with it. فأقيم السبب, so the cause, السبب الظاهر, the outer cause, مقام will take the hukam of the result, which is that you must wash it 3 times, taysiran, just to make it easy. And I told you that this is now the rational reasoning why we say that you must it 3 times, because you must remove it. And how do you, because it's not visible, so you'll have to go to your predominant thought, and then when does the predominant thought comes about? When you wash it 3 times. So that's the logical explanation. But we also have some textual evidence to suggest that 3 times is the right. Why? وتأيد ذلك بحديث المستيقظ من منامه. And this is also, that is aided, يعني ثلاث, the 3 is aided بحديث المستيقظ, with the hadith of the person who wakes up from his sleep. Remember he said, um, فلا يغمسن يده حتى يغسل ثلاثا فإنه لا يدري أين باتت يده. That when he wake up, he shouldn't put his hands in the water, because you don't know where his hand, when at night time, maybe he's scratching between his legs. So wash his hands before you use it to retrieve the water from the bucket, right? وتأيد ذلك بحديث المستيقظ من منامه is from that hadith we learn. ثم لا بد من العصر. Then another important thing, we speak about نجاسة غير مرعي now. ثم لا بد من العصر في كل مرة في ظاهر رواية. It's also necessary that after each wash you must squeeze it. Why? If you just force water over the thing, then the najis water still remaining in there. That's what I'm saying. So after each wash you must wring it, you must squeeze it, so that water remove that najasat, and fresh water come and remove the remaining jasad. That is the ثم لا بد من أصر في كل مرة. It is necessary for squeezing it every time. في ظاهر رواية, in the ظاهر رواية means what is from the preferred opinion. You know what the technical meaning is from the 3 main books. لأنه هو المستخرج. لأنه هو المستخرج أو مستخرج. That makes more sense. I got mustakhrij, because that is by squeezing it thoroughly. That is what will actually remove. Because if you're just gonna pour water continuously, what will happen? The najasa is not gonna come out. Yes, when you squeeze it thoroughly, that is what takes the najasa out. So just that brings us to the end of that chapter. Inshallah, tomorrow there's another interesting chapter, the chapter of istinja. Like, when is it necessary? Sometimes you're traveling, you don't have water by you. Can you read your salah without just passing urine, etc.? That we'll do tomorrow. So, istinja is not for us every time. Certain times it's sunnah, certain times for us, we'll do that tomorrow. So just again, the khulaso of this lesson of today, that if you can see the najasat, you must wash it till the najasat is not there. If you can't see the najasat, you must wash it at least minimum 3 times and squeeze all the dirt out. So from this, you learn that, like a washing machine, where most of the washing machine, they have more than 1 cycle, they have 2 cycles, 3 cycles. Fresh water come in. That water, it collects all the najasat in the clothes. Then that water is expelled out of the machine. Then fresh water come. At the end of the day, that thing is clear. There's no traces of the najasat. So we see that, technically speaking, yes, if you put something najis into the washing machine, it comes out, it should be clean. It should be clean. However, the old style of removing the najasat, obviously there's more cautious, there's more better. If somebody has the habit of doing that, then keep up that habit. But technically speaking, when you put something najis in the machine and it comes out, then it should be clean, it should be parked. So inshallah, tomorrow we're going to do the chapter of istinja. So I tell you, certain times istinja is not faras upon you. Sometimes maybe you're traveling on the road, you don't have a lota, etc. Then sometimes you're unable to make, you just use toilet paper, etc. All of that will be discussed in detail tomorrow, inshallah. بس سبحان الله وبحمده سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك ونشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت